Okay, now for the fan commentary of animated versus video game villains, round 3. And let's go! So, the first fight is Bal and Spark Mandrill versus Technus. Cool theme. So, under the orders of Sigma, which I'm assuming that's from Capcom, Marvel vs. Capcom, since I think I know him when he teamed up with Ultron, I think. So both of them entered the hand-drawn universe, which I get that it says animated and it say video game dimension, but come on, I think in the later rounds they end up saying CGI and hand-drawn realm. But they ended up in the home of Technus. Who doesn't take kindly to intruders. So, yeah, one thing interesting is that I think Technus was voiced by Gilbert Gottfried. I don't think I've ever mentioned that. Because Gilbert Gottfried, he has the most iconic voice you can hear him. The guy who did Iago and this guy. And I think he played as that orphanage, the owner of the orphanage. It was basically the movie about the little brat who's very in trouble. He ends up going back to the orphanage because he gets into trouble, but he finally found a person that can love him. You know, who's very nice to him. I'll leave the link down below, and that way you guys might get what movie I'm talking about. From the Nostalgia Critic. And Technus wins. And next fight is the Queen of Hearts versus the Red Queen? Well, we get this bit with Alice being chased by the Queen of Hearts and her guards. Well, the cards, but they're her guards, for crying out loud. They end up in a mysterious portal that just pop out of nowhere and it transport all of them to the CGI realm and ended up in a twisted version of Wonderland. Well, by this, I would say that's actually the Queen of Hearts from American McGee's Alice. And it's basically her page on the title says Queen of Hearts, American McGee's Alice on the Villains Wiki, and that's her. Well, that's just a profile of her in Alice Madness Returns, and hold on, yeah, that's her in the first game, and then later she becomes this in the second game. So I think her alias is the Red Queen, but I think we got the Red Queen in the actual Red Queen in American McGee's Alice, where she gets decapitated or something like that. And often people mistake the Red Queen and the Queen of Hearts being the same characters, but they're actually separated. She's the chess piece, while the Queen of Hearts is the one with the cards, to my knowledge. And American McGee's Alice, that's a very, very dark version of Alice in Wonderland. But it's a really good game. Plus, the first time I got to know of it was Batman in Wonderland. It was like a very fan-made thing. It turns out the Mad Hatter trapped him in there. I don't think the video is still around. I watched it when I was like very young. It was creeping me out as a kid. And the second one, there was Bert in Wonderland. It's that character from Trapdoor. It was also a fan-made video. I'm not sure if that video is still on there yet. So, yeah, in American McGee's Alice, it started with Alice had, a happy family, and then all of a sudden this fire started in the house, and the whole house was on fire, and Alice was like the only survivor, and she was traumatized, and then she ends up in an asylum, but then somehow returns to Wonderland, and everything got crazy, dark, twisted, and it's just very violent in a way. But the story was pretty good. So, okay, back to this one. I'll just go ahead and call them how they're calling this titles in the description. The Red Queen orders them to leave or die if they refuse. But the Queen of Hearts, hold on, let me just try this again. they have the misfortune of landing in front of the Red Queen, who orders them to leave or die. Oh yeah, that is the one. Well, Alice sneaks off. I guess she says, sneak toes away. Guess we didn't get to see her doing that. But the Queen of Hearts refuses both of them and seeks for the guards after her. Off with her head! Sorry I didn't get to do that impression. It's just something the Queen of Hearts would often do. Like, run away! You cowards! Well, she got so angry still because, she has a very problematic temper with the whole off of the heads. Then all of a sudden the Heartless shows up. Oh, the Trick Master! That's the type of Heartless it is. Someone cares. Like, seize her, monster! Guess that went a bit easy. And that's just something happened, and it just destroyed the Trick Master. It's a type of Heartless that is. It's a boss fight. It's also a boss battle. You fight it when you are in Wonderland. Which is odd, because we don't get to actually have the Queen of Hearts as the boss battle, since she's the real Disney villain. Well, I can understand why they had to not go into there. Not make the Queen of Hearts as an actual boss. But, there we go. Then she turns into what looks like her... It looks like Alice's sister, as it reveals. In Alice Madness Returns, it turns out it was from her psychiatrist, who's very fixated on her older sister, who took advantage of her, pedophilia, and then he is the one who burned the house down. I'll leave the link down below to Alice Madness Returns, since I've already gave you guys a summary video of that one. Like a child? Well, I guess she has one of their tentacle things and grabs her, and hold on. Bottoms up! Devoured! Yes, that's creepy when you get zoomed in. So, I guess the Red Queen wins, and now for the next fight. Lock, Shock, and Barrel versus Dr. Eggman. Hey, that's the footage from Oogie's Revenge. If not many people know about that game, it's basically a sequel to... It's a game sequel to the movie of The Nightmare Before Christmas, and you have like a soul rubber that Dr. Finkelstein made for Jack Skeleton, and he uses it as a weapon against enemies. And Lock, Shock, and Barrel brought Oogie Boogie back to life while Jack is away, and when he comes back, Oogie Boogie took over Halloween Town. He even took over all the holidays. So I can tell by that footage. If not many people know of it, I'll leave the link down below to that also. I kind of wish they made a remaster of Oogie's Revenge. So Lock, Shock, and Barrel are looking for Oogie Boogie, and they found themselves, well, somehow ended up in Dr. Eggman's base. He notices them, and he decides to teach these trespassers a lesson. So, there's those minions of Oogie Boogie. So, fire, old Tommy gun style. So, hey, that's the footage from Kingdom Hearts 3-5-8/2 Days. You know, when they throw a pumpkin at Roxas. Nice use of that footage. Okay, now for the next fight is Bowser versus Hades and the Ice Colossus. Okay, so Ganondorf, hearing about Maleficent gathering allies, how did it go? Growing army, sends Bowser to test one of her members to see if they're strong enough to use a subspace bomb. And meanwhile, Hades got a ace up his sleeve by using a secret weapon, which is the Ice Titan, so he can use that to go against Zeus. The Zeus of the CGI realm, the one from God of War. Until Bowser shows up. Guess he wants to take on the god first. The god of the underworld, that is. Hades seeks his Ice Colossus. That's the Titan. Ah, we get this footage from Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. So the sad thing is, I never played Super Smash Bros. LOL. I know of it, and I've seen memes of it, but I am glad that Sora is in this Super Smash Bros. LOL. And, well, manages to beat down that Ice Colossus. Huh, that was easy. And yes, stay tuned indeed, because I'm going to stop right here, so see you guys in the next part of this commentary.